Hello, welcome to Crafting Unedited. Today we are going to be making a printable iron-on HTV shirt. Lots of words there, sorry. So what I'm going to do is show you a few things. So first you're going to need your design through Design Space, Cricut, shirt, or product that you want to put the image on, some printable HTV sheets. These are for light. As you can see, it says light right there, which means it's for a light colored fabric, so that you don't make the same mistake that I did one time, like this. Fail. That's okay. I can still save the shirt. So, and your Cricut mat and a heat press or a everyday iron. I prefer the heat press because I don't own an iron. Everything goes in the dryer if I need it ironed. But that, you know, whatever. Everyone has their own preferences. So first we're going to talk about the HTV sheets. These I bought off of Amazon. It was like 13 bucks for the whole pack, which is all of 6. Does make it a bit more expensive than your regular HTV, but for more detailed images like the one I'm about to show you, I prefer to use this over layering, just because then it doesn't have that super thick feeling. It doesn't, I don't know, it's a lot less work than layering HTV. If you have like 2 or 3 colors, sure, but if you've got 2 or 3 colors and various spots on the same image, it's a lot of detailing and work, and I'm just not wanting that for this specific image. So this is through Avery. They have a bunch of other printable HTV sheets that you can use, but I prefer this one because of ease of use, and it's one of the less expensive versions. Works just as well. Definitely a learning curve if you've never used it before, so make sure you read the instructions, do some Googling, look for YouTube. I would show you, but that was before I started doing these videos, and now there's no longer a learning curve. But maybe I can do like a how to fix your fudge up, right? So shows you here that you can use their templates or their Design Space. I prefer Cricut Design Space, mainly because then I can just shoot it over to the Cricut and cut it. Easy peasy, right? But this makes it so that if you don't have the Cricut Design Space, or if you don't have a Cricut, you don't have to, which kind of makes it versatile for anyone to use, which is great. So HTV sheets, right? It is for light colored fabric, hence the white shirt. And this shirt is actually going to be for the sister of the original mess up shirt. I did remake this product for the little one. So those, I typically charge a little bit more to my customers for those specific transfers because it is more expensive to use, and the design takes more time as well, because if I'm using that product, then chances are I spent an abundance of time on designing the image, trying to find the right decal or the right picture that the customer wanted, putting the colors together. It's just a lot of things. So it's a 2-for-1. You're paying for the printable HTV, but you're also paying for a better image, one more that was more time consuming. So we've got our HTV, we've got our Design Space, our Cricut mat, and our shirt, right? You also need a printer because you have to print onto the HTV. So I've actually already sent that over to the printer. I'll just have to go grab it in a second. And this is what they look like when they originally come out of the package. It also comes with convenient little extra instructions here, as well as instructions on the product itself, see? But when it comes out, it's just a plain white on one side. You can kind of tell which side is which. Obviously, you're not going to print on and use that side. You're going to print on this side. For my printer, it is this side down, so white side down. For yours, it might be different, but I think for most inkjet printers, it's going to be face down. So there's that. And these are washable. I just tell all of my customers to make sure that they wash it inside out. And that's just a personal preference. Excuse me while I fight with the stuff. That's just a personal preference in all honesty. I don't know why, but I like to wash my HTV shirts or my custom shirts inside out. So I'm going to move my shirt over to the side so that I can show you the image that I am designing. Oops, sorry, gave you a little earthquake there. So you can see here that it is for a little girl named Avery. Cutest little girls ever. And I originally had it not attached, so I'll show you what the original image looked like. And all of these letters here were cut, which I'll only do one. So, oops, undo that. And so this was originally a cut. So it was just a cut, not a print. And so what I had to do is go over here to the fill and hit print. It was originally no fill and cut only. So it is now a print image, and I need to select all, because if I do not, I'll show you really quick what happens. See, it kind of jumbles everything. It's not in order anymore, and that's not what I want. So I'll hit cancel, go back, select all, and attach. You do not want to weld it together, because if you weld it, then it'll change all of the colors to black. That's not what we want. So we've got that there, and you'll go to make it, and you'll want to reverse the image. And now that the image is reversed, you can now apply it to your fabric, product, whatever you want to put it on. And I've actually already done these steps and have it over to the printer. So normally you would hit send to printer and then hit print. I use the add bleed feature because then it doesn't create as much of a white area around everything. All right, so I don't need to do that. I've already printed. So I'm gonna go grab that printout really quick. I'll be right back. All right, I am back. And now we have, oops, shook you again, sorry. Our printout, look at that. How fun is that? It is reversed. So, I don't know. That's what it looks like right now. So we're gonna put this on the mat, face up. You wanna make sure that it's pretty aligned because the Cricut is going to, oh my gosh, I don't know the word. It'll figure it out, basically. And you don't want to use any sharp objects on this HTV sheet because it will cut into the image. We don't want that, right? So you just want to make sure that it's all flat on there, and I need to clean this mat. And then you'll just load it into your Cricut. And I actually need to move these back into place. Sorry. The other day I was making my son's Marshmallow helmet. Yes, Marshmallow the DJ. And I had to move these little wheels over so that it didn't dip into the fabric. Foam, whatever it's called. I don't actually know exactly where these are supposed to go, but this is just so that it guides the mat in. Nothing super duper important as far as placement goes. All right, so we've got that all figured out, kind of. We've got it set to iron on, and we'll just let it go and do its thing. As you can see, it will find the black line, and that's its safe zone. So that tells it where to cut, and it talks back to the thing there. So as soon as that starts going, you'll see it'll stop and it'll go over. It's finding its guidelines, that's what it's doing. So while that cuts, I'll show you how this was a mess up. So I used a light colored printable HTV on a darker colored shirt, and it ended very badly. You cannot see the colors very well, where on this you definitely will. So what I'll do is I'm going to remove the decal from the shirt at some point to save the shirt. While I did waste the HTV image, I didn't want to waste both products. So I have saved this and to show you guys as an example of my budge up. So ignore that, that's just a heat press going off back there. And as you can see, this is definitely cutting out every single detail on this image, so that'll make things a little fun when I place it onto the shirt. It's kind of going a little crazy there. So that's all right. It'll still be fun. Sometimes the add bleed feature is a great thing. Sometimes it's questionable. But right now it looks like it's going to be questionable, as I'm not sure what it's doing, but we'll see. I don't know. Please excuse me if I'm a hot mess. I was down for the count yesterday, and I don't know if it was food poisoning or what, but it was rough. My crazy self is going to attempt to work out this morning, so wish me luck. I really hope this works too, because it's Monday, and if it doesn't, this is how my Monday's going to go. Sometimes it can be finicky with the print then cut, sometimes it's okay, but it just depends on how much of a learning curve you took, and I'm not entirely too confident on this, so we'll see what happens, right? So we've got our image cut. We'll see what happens. Pray. Fingers crossed. So you want to be very careful not to use your fingernails to pull this off, because like I said, it will go into the image and totally screw it up. And we do not want that. And I think I see my first mistake, but I think that I can fix that. I did it. It worked. Sorry if I seem surprised. I'll show you what I'm talking about in a second here. So it did kind of cut some of the bleed out. You can see around her hair right there that it left some of it. And that's where I think that, like I said, sometimes that print then cut feature can be kind of wonky, especially with the bleed. Nothing you can do about it except for take some scissors and kind of go around the edging yourself. But at this point, I gotta get it off of here first. And you want to be very, very careful, because like I said, this stuff, I'll show you for example, if you can see it. You see the yellow there? If I take my fingernail, it pulls it right off. So you gotta be very careful with that part. Just don't use your fingernails and you'll be golden. The other part is when I attached the two, I forgot to weld this area, so her foot has actually been cut out. Not a big deal though, because it didn't pull off. As long as I keep it on there and attached, we'll be golden. Again, your learning curves here. Bear with me as I get this together. Trying to pull it off without pulling boots apart here. There we go. Nope, see, her foot kind of did attach and it's still there. That's okay. She is now footless. That's all right. I'll place it on the mat or on the shirt properly. I just want to get some of this around her hair off. Just because I don't like the way it looks. So just take some scissors here. I'm gonna hit finish on this, and I already have my heat press heated back there, so and this is what crafting unedited is all about, guys. I want to show you how to mess up and how to fix a mess up. Because mess ups are going to happen. It's not, no one is perfect, and I want to show you that it's okay and that it's going to happen. And sometimes it is worth crying over, in all honesty. It's going to be, especially on a Monday. If something else were to have gone wrong, I probably would have cried. But this is definitely the easier, it's not that much of a boo-boo, and I can handle it on a Monday. Alright. These are not the best scissors. I probably should have chosen some smaller ones, but I have no idea where my smaller ones are, so we're just going to deal with it. So I really hope that you guys appreciate the fact that these videos, they're going to be a little bit longer, unfortunately, but like I said, I'm trying to show you how to fix your mess ups, and typically that takes a little extra time than just doing a regular print and cut. You know, it's not cut and dry. No puns intended. Alright, we're getting there. Does not have to be perfect, as long as I can get most of this discoloration. If it was just white around the edges, it'd be okay, but it's not. It's actually like multicolored, and that's going to show up on the shirt, so I don't want that. Customer probably wouldn't even notice if I didn't point it out, but I am definitely one that has to take some pride in her work, and this is how I do so. I make sure that, you know, it's also a little bit of an OCD feature. Not a bad thing from a customer's, that's for sure. And she's a friend as well as a customer, so I'm sure that she wouldn't have cared. But that's just me and my ethics. Can't send somebody something that I wouldn't be proud of. Just me. So this weekend, it was very fun. Saturday, I don't know whatever day you guys are watching this, but this past weekend, small talk, while I fix my mess up here. So my kids are in Taekwondo, right? They had a little Halloween thing for all the Taekwondo people, members, and it was so fun. The kids had a blast. They had a piñata. They all got to color and decorate and then break boards, which was really cool. It was my daughter's first time breaking a board because she has not tested for a new belt yet. She actually does that on Wednesday. But she was so proud. I mean, she's a 4-year-old girl breaking a board. She felt like a total beast. She is a beast, but we're not going to talk about that. But they had so much fun. I love that, you know, we finally found a community that does these little things. And if you can find that, do it, man. Pay for the community, honestly. Don't worry about what you're paying for around the house. All right. We're almost done here. Bear with me. So you see, that looks a little better, right? Boots still has some discoloration over here, but that's not too bad. I can kind of handle that, I think. Probably not. Bear with me. Almost done. Alright, that's a bit better. This I can handle. Or should I say my OCD can handle. Alright, see? There we go. So we're going to take the shirt over here. Lay it out. And then I will move you in a minute as soon as I get the rest of this stuff off. I like to bend. I broke my mat. That's okay. I have more. That's what this is all about. Learning curves. So remember that boo-boo, other than the boo-boo that I just made, that I was telling you about with the boot, or with Dora's foot. It did actually cut through, but that's all right. I will adjust it on the shirt so that you can't tell. All right, get all my letters off here. Okay, so lesson learned, bend the mat, but don't bend the mat. I wasn't trying to bend it that hard. I guess I just didn't know my own strength there. But I do bend it just a little bit sometimes to get the stuff off. You can use the scraping tool, but for this, like I said, I'm trying not to use anything that will scrape it because of the delicacy. As you can see here, where her foot is supposed to go, cut off the 3. That's okay though, no biggie. No biggie, we can make it work. How does Dora say it? We can do it? Or is that Bob the Builder? We can build it? I don't know. My kids are not into cartoons as much anymore, which kind of makes me sad. They're more into the YouTube videos and whatnot. Though my son is very much so into Dragon Ball Z, which is great. Just makes things a bit more difficult when it comes to making things for him. All right, so I'm going to move you so that you can see the next steps. All right, and the next steps, they're not as tasking, so it won't take as long. I just got to find a good location. How about let's not let you see all of my dirtiness of my laundry room. We're going to use my son's marshmallow helmet. See, that's what I was making with the foam. So we're going to use that, maybe, to show you what I'm doing here. There you go. You can see that. You won't be able to see my head, but that's okay because we're not worried about my head right now. We are worried about the shirt, right? And I can sit down if I wanted you to see my head. So we've got the image, and I just realized that I made another boo-boo. So I did the image reversed. Right? No, I didn't make a boo-boo. I'm still asleep, guys. Bear with me. So we've got 3. We've got R. A-R-I. I'm just kind of throwing them on there for now. A little piece of boot. All right, so got my heat press all ready to go here, and I've got to do some evening of the things out here. So, and I can already tell that this is, there we go. Doesn't have to be perfect. It is for a little girl, so the more flair you have to it, and I think my eye is upside down. It was, I think. No, it wasn't. I had it right. There we go. That looks pretty straight. Again, I am not one for measuring. I don't measure because I don't know. I just don't. So I've got Dora over here. And we've got the part of the 3. We've got to kind of align here properly. Put this over here. In this instant layering, the HTV may have been a little easier, but I don't believe so. If I wouldn't have made the mistake of not attaching this piece, it would have been super easy. And this might be easier with tweezers. There we go. Do, do, do. There we go. All right, I have reconnected the 3. And the foot is intact as well. But for some reason, the 3 looks backwards to me. We'll see. I don't know. Like I said, I'm still half asleep. And I thought that I mirrored the whole thing. I don't know why it would only mirror half of it. No, that's right. Again, half asleep. All right, so we've got it all intact here. Make sure that one piece still is pretty straight. There we go. And then we're gonna take the heat press, whoop, cord, go right over, just like that. Now we wait. I set the timer and it's set for 30 seconds. So every 30 seconds I'll pull it up, check it, and then pull it back down. Typically it takes more than 30 seconds, especially the first time over. Fingers crossed that it all works out, because like I said, it's Monday, and if it doesn't, there might be a crying moment. That's okay though. It's only Monday, right? We've got a whole week. It's a whole fresh week. 30 seconds done. Pull it up, place it back on the protective thing. I use the wax paper as just another protective layer, so that if there is anything on my heat press, it doesn't go onto the shirt. It goes on the wax paper. So I'm gonna test just the little corner of the A up here. Almost, not quite. So about another 30 seconds and it should be okay. And then I'm also going to move it down just a smidge to make sure that I get her foot. And then I'm not applying a lot of pressure, it looks like it, because, you know, I'm on a ironing board. But if you're on a table, you just want to add just a little bit of pressure to it. But for the ironing board, it's a little bit wobbly, so the pressure that you're putting on it is not as much. So we're just waiting. Should be done now. One of these days I'll get to doing an overview of the heat press, but for now, I don't remember if this is supposed to be a cold peel or a warm peel, but so far so good. There's the eye. And again, same thing, you have to be a little careful using your fingernails because you don't want to peel up the color on the corners. I think that's what I did with the A there, because I did it before it was ready. Yeah, but only a smidgen, it's okay. There we go, and now for the more complicated parts. So I'm actually gonna start on my 3 here, just because it's not so. I like to hold down the fabric around each of these, just so that it's not pulling it off. The other cool thing about Printable HTV is that it looks like it was painted onto the shirt, like screen printed, rather than a vinyl decal. Right, Dora, don't be a butt. So I don't think that that part of Dora is ready because it's peeling up on me. So we're just gonna take this and give it a little bit more loving. Not a whole lot, just a little bit here. So not the whole 30 seconds worth. I think that it just cooled. I think this is supposed to be a warm cool. It just cooled a little bit too much. Almost made another boo-boo. So, and I did. Crap. It's okay. You're not supposed to put heat back over it when it's done. That's okay. Hopefully it's okay. I forgot about that detail. There we go. You gotta move quick with this stuff. Bear with me. Just gonna... I see what happened here. That part where the boot was stuck to, or her foot was stuck to the vinyl, I actually layered over the paper. So that kind of caused a little bit of a mess up there. So far, not an ultimate fail of a Monday morning project, but not 100% the best work ever. That's okay. Still looks pretty sweet. I will show you how to avoid what I just did with the heat against it to make sure that it's glued. All right, so now that I have all of that off, throw all of this away. Run over my sweater in the process. And now you see the almost finished product. See? But what I'm going to do is give it just a little bit of a extra love here. And I'm going to do this very cautiously and quickly, just very little spurts of heat. And this is just to kind of activate the glue on the other side without doing it too much so that it doesn't stick to the other side of the fabric. And also so that I could fix this little bit of bubbling that we have going on here. You couldn't really see it in the video, but when I pulled up the wax paper, it had stuck to the HTV, and in order to fix that, it stuck to the decal. In order to fix that, you just have to apply a little bit more heat, little bits at a time, and take your finger over it. I also want to get this wrinkle out over here. Just a little bit at a time, kind of reactivate the glue, and give it a little smearing, and it'll be all good. Golden. Perfect. All right, so there's our finished project right there. Hope the little girl loves it because I absolutely do. I do think that maybe I could have made a door a little bigger, but this is going on a little girl that's probably about that size, so it'll work. All right, there it is, all done. Again, this is crafting unedited, and I'm gonna show you how to fudge up and fix it. So I really hope that you enjoyed this little project that I did here, and I hope that you will subscribe, hit the little bell, and like this video. Also, if you have questions on anything that I did or some tips, both are greatly appreciated. I appreciate you watching and spending the time with me. Have a fantastic day.